Former DP MP Ervin Saliani accused prosecutors of being on the side of criminals, while Lulzim Basha warned the prosecutors and judges involved that they will not pass vetting. Prosecutor Buyar Sheshi has won the first battle with the file authority as the administrative court accepted his lawsuit, annulling the decision that declared him as a former state security agent. Present at the 9th summit of the CEEC and China held in Croatia, Prime Minister Rama held meetings with both his Greek and Chinese counterparts. It's 6 o'clock on Friday, the 12th of April 2019. Good evening and thank you for tuning in to rtvora's English edition. My name is Alexandra, bringing you the only daily update of the local Albanian news translated into English. The Court of Tirana has begun hearing the Babale issue relating to the defendants of former DP MP Ervin Saliani, Fredi Alizotti, Albert Veliu and Jetmir Oldashi on the charge of false denunciation. Despite being a person who has faced more lawsuits than any other politician, the former MP of the Democratic Party, Ervin Saliani, declared this Friday that he will not accept any compromise with evil. This declaration came shortly before Saliani entered the prosecution. He is accused of defamation against the former Interior Minister, Fatmir Jafai, regarding the Babale case. I am here, convinced and trustful, because the time has come for the rule of law to be at least as powerful as organised crime, said Saliani. The Babale case involves the former Minister of Interior Fatmir Jafai's brother, Agron Jafai. Some audio tappings were released to the media which claimed that the minister's brother was engaged in drug dealings, but the tappings were determined to be fake. For this reason, Saliani, together with Albert Veliu, known as Babale, Fredi Alizotti, the person suspected of acting as Agron Jafai, and Jetmir Oldashi, the journalist who filmed the phone conversation between Veliu and the supposed minister's brother, are accused of defamation. During this session, Fredi Alizotti has requested a shortened trial, while Saliani, Albert Veliu and Jetmir Oldashi have asked for the trial to be dismissed. Out of court, Saliani accused prosecutors of being on the side of the trafficker who is serving the sentence. The former Democrat MP calls on the prosecution to arrest the two police directors, Andon Marcu and Alfred Nushi, for false testimony. The Democratic Party chair, Lulzim Basha, reacted to this case, considering it a scandal, while issuing a warning for judges and prosecutors. I want to make it clear to Kastriot Gramsci and the two prosecutors that they will not pass vetting based on these unconscionable acts that they have undertaken, expressed Basha. The chair of the Democratic Party stated today that the judge and the two prosecutors are burying the criminal file instead of investigating the accused, and that they are sending the denouncer of crime to the court. The Administrative Court has accepted a lawsuit raised by prosecutor Buyar Sheshi abolishing the decision made by the Files Authority that Sheshi is a former state security worker. The decision was handed down by Judge Emiliano Rulli, who accepted Sheshi's request to overturn the decision of the File Authority. He annulled the decision made by the File Authority by fully accepting the lawsuit that disputed the authority's pretense that Sheshi was one of the former state security associates and alleged that the file found by the authority is for a person named Buyar Sheshi but was not related to the same individual. The court has accepted the allegations that it is not the same person and Buyar Sheshi is not a former state security officer. The Buyar Sheshi in question has performed his duty as an investigator at that time in accordance with the law. Our allegations have been that the File Authority cannot interpret the acts found in the various archives in this way. They should have conveyed accurate information in the way they found it, said Rulli. Meanwhile, the head of the File Authority, Genta Sula, has announced an appeal with the Administrative Court. Also, the High Council of Prosecution member has indicted the head of the File Authority to the prosecution for abuse of duty, as well as the members of the Commission that have made the decision. The 9th Business Forum of CEC and China 16+1 opened on Friday with a record number of participants and messages from the Croatian and Chinese Prime Ministers that Croatia has been known throughout history for its trade. The 16+1 initiative was established in 2012 with the aim of strengthening trade between China and Central and Eastern European countries, and this is the 9th Business Forum held as part of the initiative that has both a political and economic dimension. Albania, Bosnia and Herzegovina, North Macedonia, Bulgaria, Croatia, Czech Republic, Estonia, Hungary, Latvia, Lithuania, Montenegro, Poland, Romania, Serbia, Slovakia, Slovenia, and now Greece as an invitee after the Sofia summit are all participating countries for this cooperation. A few days after a telephone conversation, Prime Ministers Rama and Tsipras met today in Croatia, where they were together in Dubrovnik under the framework of the summit. The focus of the conversation was the issue of the border between the two countries, as well as other issues relating to the integration of Albania into the EU. The two Prime Ministers also hold the post as Foreign Minister, although they have both delegated the responsibilities to another individual. Meanwhile, the head of the Albanian government also met with Chinese counterpart Li Keqiang. Prime Minister Rama urged the Chinese Prime Minister to accelerate the procedures for allowing Albanian products to enter the Chinese market. Another important element requested by Rama was the removal of visa requirements between the two countries. For his part, China's Prime Minister Li confirmed the abolition of any barriers to the importation of wine, honey and olive oil from Albania. Also, the head of the Chinese government promised to take the necessary steps to lift visa requirements and mutually recognise university degrees. Concerning the summit, the purpose of this meeting is to strengthen the cooperation of regional countries with Beijing and to develop joint projects, particularly in infrastructure and energy. Just a few days ago, the Prime Minister warned the deans that he would remove their autonomy if they did not evaluate academic titles. This clash between the Prime Minister, Edi Rama, and the pedagogical troupe regarding the autonomy of universities has brought about a response from President Ilir Meta. Opposing the violation of autonomy, he emphasised that it is more important to strengthen the university's ability for scientific research in order to further assist the labour market. The student protests last December proved that the implementation of the current law on higher education has problems. It remains difficult to secure the autonomy and financial independence of public universities. The reform of higher education should have a more comprehensive spirit. It should aim to create the right conditions to improve the quality of teaching and to aim for universities to be independent and unconditional by politics, said Meta. The alarming rate at which the youth of Albania emigrate abroad is another major concern for the president, and as such, he called for immediate measures to be taken. In relation to the implementation of the student card, Meta expressed concern regarding the delay. The delay in equipping students with a student card is unjustified. It is an immediate obligation in order to guarantee the student rights that derive from it, as well as other students in the countries of the region and Europe, concluded Meta. The Speaker of the Parliament, Gramos Rucci, has warned 21 independent institutions who report to the Assembly that if they do not achieve the desired results for their work, he will sign their dismissals. In agreement with Rucci, the European Union Ambassador Luigi Soreca urged the strengthening of the institutions because of the key role they play in progressing Albania towards integration into the European Union. I do not have the time at my age to be ashamed because I have no time to correct it, and I have the legal responsibility to say something, said Gramos Rucci. Soreca supported Rucci by explaining that independent institutions are key to democratic governance. I am here today to express our support to the work of independent institutions, which are the backbone of a democratic state and society. The European Union strongly encourages the efforts of Parliament, but also of government, to improve coordination and accountability in the work of independent institutions, said Soreca. He noted that the European Union considers maintaining the balance of power, ensuring a healthy legal system, and delivering a responsible public administration as extremely important. He reconfirmed that they are indeed instrumental for ensuring progress on the key priorities as agreed to by the EU and Albania. At the Assembly table, Agron Tufa raised concern regarding the debate several days ago with MP Spartak Braho. Tufa called for disciplinary measures to be taken. Our institution has been under pressure from the blackmail of a majority MP. Mr. Braho should be warned, said Tufa. The MP can express his views that disagree with your stance. That is his right, retorted Socialist Party Parliamentary Group Chair Talon Bala. During the session, several of the institutions demanded more human resources and an increased budget to deliver a stronger performance in regards to their work. And that's the news across the country today. Thank you for watching our English edition this evening, and be sure to join us again every Monday to Saturday at 6 p.m. for the latest news from Albania. Once again, on behalf of RTV Aura, thank you and good night.